Hello everyone. My name is Pritam Paul, and welcome to another video. This is the second video with Sukanya. I hope you know her, and if you haven't watched the previous video, then it would be in the description or it would be in the I button. Press the I button and go to that video. First, watch that one. And in this video, we are going to talk about her visa interview experiences for the USA. Hello Sukanya, welcome to the YouTube channel again. I would
Thank
really
you.
like to ask you that what kind of visa actually students got to go there? What it is called actually?
There are various types of student visas available for USA. So there's F-1, J-1, and for the dependents there is F-2, J-2 type. So mainly students go for the F-1 visa. It's the most popular one. When I went for the F-1 visa, and it got approved last month.
Okay. Guys, in the whole video, we will be talking about mainly four topics, which are list of applications to be filled up by the applicant. And then she will talk about the slot booking, then documents needed, and after all these things, the overall interview experiences, what she has been asked and what they have asked, and how did she approach to those questions. So she will try to answer all these things. So if you really want to know about all these things, then watch this video till the end. And if you haven't subscribed the channel also, guys, do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that every video could be reached through notification. So yeah, let's start then.
Okay, we start with the entire visa process with the I-20. After receiving an admit from the university, you apply for an I-20 through their Office of Global Services or whatever counterpart there is. It is issued by the Department of Homeland Security. It's basically a document which you can prove that you are actually able to financially afford for at least 1 year. So the I-20 amount which they state on the document is for 1 year. So this is the document you first get issued. So this is required for applying for the visa. So once you get your I-20, you start applying. So there are three documents, three applications that need to be filled. So the first comes DS-160. So the DS-160, it doesn't require any fee. Then comes the service fee. It's the service fee is around $350. This is applicable for all F-1 students. Then comes the final visa application form. So you need to fill the visa application form, and the fees are $160. So these are the three forms you need to fill. Service is actually not a form; it's more like a fee. So after you fill the visa application form and you pay the fee, then you can actually start with the slot booking process. So yes, basically you need I-20, service, DS-160, and the visa application form. These are the three application forms you need to fill. So then comes the slot booking part. It's one of the most hectic and anxious process of the entire visa application process. So like there are so many Telegram groups which keep on updating 24/7, like when the slots are open, when the slots are not, and majority of the time there are barely any slots. So even I have and there's a limit to the number of times you can actually access the slot booking page, because if you access the page probably more than 4 to 5 times in a day, your account gets frozen for 72 hours, 48 or 72 hours. So you can't actually even check all the time. So that's why there are so many Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups. They keep on reporting if there are slots, then you don't really actually need to check all the time. So this is a very anxious process. But however, this year the slots were open for fall 22 session. The slots were from the first week of June, and we could book them from mid-May. So yes, we don't really need to worry. But yes, the process is like that everyone kind of gets very anxious. Like, what if I don't get slots? What if I get rejected? So this is actually a headache. So anyway, so you need to keep monitoring for the slots. There are four embassies in India. Sorry, five. There are four consulates and one embassy. New Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So yes, wherever you can. I was like at first I thought probably I'll go for the Kolkata one. It would be easier for me to travel. But then the moment the slots got open, I just got the slot book like wherever I could get the first embassy that comes up. I'm just going to take it there. So I got my appointments. There are two appointments. So there is a OFC appointment and then there is the main visa interview. So the OFC appointment, I got mine on the 8th of June, and the main visa interview, it was on 9th of June. Both were at Delhi Embassy. So the OFC appointment, it's more like a biometric appointment. They take your fingerprints, both the hands, and a photo. That's it. And after that, on the main visa interview, the rest of the interview process is conducted. So the documents needed for there are so many documents which we need for both the appointments. For the first OFC, we need a passport, original passport, then the DS-160 confirmation page, and the appointment letter. So mainly these three documents are needed, but even like just for like safety, I even carried the service receipt, I-20, and the visa application payment receipt, and also two passport size photos. They don't really need it because they click the photo anyway, but I just kept it just in case. So basically they just require for the OFC your original passport, DS-160 confirmation letter, and confirmation page, and your appointment letter. So then comes the visa interview documents. So for the visa interview, there are like so many documents people take. Even I carried like so many documents, even though like at the end they just ask for my passport and I-20, nothing else. But yes, you should always carry like everything. So once again, passport, then I-20, then DS-160 confirmation page, service receipt, appointment confirmation, then acceptance letter, university acceptance letter, your resume, then GRE TOEFL scorecard, then your financial documents like probably bank statements, then education loan sanction letter, and if your parents are sponsoring you, like then probably their last 3 months salary slip, or 3 years IT return slips, or if you are sponsoring yourself, then your own salary slip of the last 3 months, and tax returns. So apart from that, there comes yeah, yes, these are the documents which you mainly require. Yeah, these are the main that should be it. So for me, I did not actually require all of these documents. They just asked me for the I-20 and my passport, and that was enough. So yes, so finally my main interview was on 9th of June at New Delhi Embassy. So my appointment was at 10:30 in the morning. So like you're advised to reach on time, just on time. They mention on the appointment letter that you can just you don't need to be early, but still I was almost 1 hour early. Everyone was on more than an hour early. When I reached, I already saw a huge line outside the embassy. So I thought like, oh my God, I'll probably get late or something. But anyway, I did not. I was done by 11. So yes, a majority of the time was spent on the line. So yes, once you enter, they'll make you go through like two security checks. Then only and yes, inside the embassy nothing is allowed. You cannot take your mobile phones, watches, or anything. Even the folders, only the folder is allowed where you carry all your documents, nothing else. So they'll scan your folder also. So after that, there was this waiting area where everyone was seated in several rows. So like after that, like one by one, the rows were called for the interview. So so there were actually two buildings. So after the waiting area, you enter another building. So there, first they'll verify your documents. So there are a few counters where your documents are verified. They'll check if your passport name, DS-160 name, passport number, they all match in all the documents, the main documents, DS-160, I-20, passport. And then after that, you go forward and join another line, which is for the main interview. So there are various counters, and the interviews are taken by Americans, obviously. So I was so nervous. Like at that point, I couldn't like think about anything else. My heartbeat was so fast. I was so anxious. I like almost like on the verge of like thinking that, oh my god, maybe I like almost all the like applicants that day were getting their visa approved, because like this year even the US embassy, they mentioned on their Twitter and Facebook page that this year there is going to be a record number of F-1 approvals. So, and I could actually see like almost everyone was getting approved, but in my mind it was like, no, I'm going to be the first person who gets rejected. It was like playing in my mind. So anyway, so yes, after I was assigned to a counter, uh, so this man, this American man, middle-aged man, he asked me, so I just greeted him like, good morning, officer. He said, good morning. So yeah, he just asked me two questions. The way I prepared for my visa interview, it was like, I thought like he's going to ask me like the most difficult, most confusing questions. I prepared for everything. I was ready. Like I thought he would ask me something even like I was ready for a question which would be something even like why are you pursuing your course in US? Why not in India? So these are very tricky questions. I can't even like these questions, like if like you can't answer it like in a particular way, it would be more like you are insulting your home country for going to another. So these are very tricky questions. So anyway, I had prepared for all of them. So once I approached him, finally he asked me to pass my I-20 and passport to him. So after passing, he asked me about my educational background. So I told him that I just graduated the month before from NIT Agartala in this branch with this CGPA. So after that, I gave my answer as detailed as possible. So so that at least based on this question, there isn't another question. He just had the entire answer through just one question. And then the next question was, he asked me about how am I going to fund my education. So I just told him that I got an education loan worth this much amount. I mentioned the amount in dollars, and from this bank, and the rest of the amount, my mother is going to sponsor me once again in dollars. So yes, and then he did not ask me anything else. He just said, "Okay, place your tips on the scanner. Your visa is approved." That is it. I was like, actually, he left me with just two questions. He just approved. It was kind of unbelievable, but yeah. But actually, at the same time, there are so many students. You cannot actually spend more than like 2 minutes for each student. Like it's not practically possible. There are so many students. So yeah, so yeah, that was it, and I was like so happy. I couldn't believe for like 2-3 minutes that it actually got approved. Then yeah, after probably 5 or 6 days, yeah, the passport was ready. So I got my passport.
Okay. So that's really nice. You explained everything in details. But I would like to know basically two things about your loan and how did you show your means what did you present? Only the loan or something like that to show your expenses, fooding and living expenses there for the 1 year. I would really like to know about them. Like first of all, let's talk about the ones from which bank you have taken the loan. People actually, which I have heard about USA, people used to means have the loan from Credela. So
Yeah,
is that
and I took from Credila. Yes.
okay. So what was the amount and can you share with us?
Yeah. Okay. So I took 50 lakhs loan from HDFC Credila, and the rest amount, my mother is sponsoring me. So the amount I showed them, it was through FDs, mainly through FDs. So yes, so the I-20 amount for this year was $55,000, and at the time of getting the I-20, you don't really need to show more than the I-20 amount. You can just show as much as it is, like $55,000. You can just no, sorry, not 55, sorry, $51,000. Yes, so the amount is 51,000. So you can just show 51. You don't need to show more. But at the time of visa interview, is recommended that you show minimum of 1.5 times of that amount to 2 times. It's always recommended. So I showed around 1.6 or 1.7 times of that amount. At the time of receiving the I-20, I showed, yes, around $52,000 or $53,000. So at the time of the visa interview, I showed yes, around $80,000. So the I-20 amount is just for 1 year, but yes, the visa interview at the time of that, they want to see that you are actually financially dependent for at least 2 years, if not more. I mean, not 2 years, like at least 1.5 to 2 years. You are able to stay there, so it's obviously always recommended you show 1.5 times minimum.
So
I showed
your university expenses is like around 30 to 35 lakhs all for 2 years. Is it?
no, no. For 2 years, it's 60 to 60, because considering the current exchange rate, it's going to be 62,
62 lakhs.
including living expenses, fooding, and tuition fees, obviously, health insurance, everything.
Okay, I got it. So and so everything means your credit loan and your FDs and rest of the things auntie is sponsoring for your MS.
Yes. So
Okay.
including that, I at the time of visa interview, I showed $80,000.
Okay, and so this is the last question which I wanted to ask. That can you please share some tips to the audience so that they could have the idea?
So the tips I would like to share. The one is about the slot booking part. You don't really need to worry too much. And just instead of getting anxious over the Telegram groups and like not like going through like the US embassy page all the time, you can just like expect that around mid-May for the fall session. For the spring session, I'm not really sure, but yes, for the fall session around mid-May or early May, like by June, the slots are generally open, so you don't really need to worry about that much. Just make sure you know the timeline, how the like slot opening and booking, how the timeline goes. Make sure you're just aware of that. And for the visa interview, make sure you are prepared for all types of questions. Generally, the questions they ask are like why US. They don't really go for like why not India, but it's always better that you do prepare for such questions. Then the main question is always how will you fund yourself, and always try to make sure whatever the question they ask, they are like sure that you make them believe that your inclinations are towards your home country. Because if they, through any answer, if they kind of realize that your main purpose is immigration, then there is a high chance of getting your visa rejected. Always go for answers like I want to return to my country because I have my assets here, I have my family here, financial assets, everything. So try to make them believe that you are going to return to your country. Never say that I'm going to work after MS, even if they ask. So this is another thing. Then they'll probably ask about your coursework, about why particularly this university. Then if you have relatives in the US. I don't think this question really matters. An answer to this question, probably, I don't think it matters. But yes, if you have probably an immediate brother or sister who's applied for a green card or something, this might be a deciding factor also, because then they can realize that you actually have immigration purposes. So this is another thing. Then probably what else? There, yeah, mainly these are the questions. So like you can prepare among them. Shouldn't be like that difficult. Like this should be. But and mainly you should be confident when answering. Make sure like you look eye to eye and just answer like it should be fine. Like a lot of
Okay.
visas get approved.
Okay. And also, I would recommend to watch this kind of videos on YouTube to get to know about the interview experiences, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sukanya. It's really nice of you that you are sharing such vital information for the audience. I'm really thankful to have you here. Thank you so much. And guys,
Thank
if
you.
you really found this video useful, then do share with your friends, man. And please do subscribe. It means I can see that most of the viewers do not subscribe. I really don't get that. If you are really watching the video, you should subscribe the channel for ethical
Yeah.
purpose, some basic ethics, man. So yeah, I'm literally trying to working hard for the channel. So please do subscribe the channel. And yeah, this much for today. See you on the next video.